my goodness, it is raining like cats and dogs outside. I had to go out to my garden and get some Roma tomatoes. I'm going to show us how to make a soup today that's called a creamy tomato soup shooter with a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. Now, I know you've all had your tomato soups, your grilled cheese sandwich. That's our comfort food. But we're going to, as I say in my house, we're going to doctor it up just a little bit. We're going to add a little spice to it and make it more like a gourmet tomato shooter with a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. So what I'm going to do is I have already cut up one of my Roma tomatoes. I'm going to cut up one more real quick because, like I said, we're going to need 2. We're going to put those in our little mini processor here, food processor. We're just going to whiz those up just a little bit more, just to make them a little finer so that we don't have big chunks of tomatoes in our soup. We just want it to be more of a creamy soup. So let me finish chopping this up really, really quick. I'm also going to add to that, in the food processor, I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of a minced garlic. And when we get through whizzing that up, we're going to put this in our boiler on top of the stove. We're going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes while we're getting our sandwiches ready. It's going to be so good. You're going to be so surprised to see that something as simple as a grilled cheese and tomato soup can be so fancy and served at an elegant sit-down dinner if you wanted to. Okay, let's put this in our food processor, a little mini processor here. Let's see, we got 1 tomato and 2 tomatoes. All right, so let's get our minced garlic and add to that. Like I said, we've got a ½ teaspoon of minced garlic. We're going to whiz that together. Let's go ahead and get our stove going here. We're going to put that on a medium heat. Okay, we're just going to simmer that for about 20 minutes. Let's whiz that real quick. A little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. Alrighty. Now to these tomatoes, we're going to add 1 can. Well, that was noisy. All right, let me just put this in here for real quick here. All right, that's our tomatoes and our garlic, and you can smell the garlic. It smells so good. Love garlic. Okay, got that in there. All right, next I'm going to add, it is a 10 3/4 ounce can of a tomato soup concentrate. I'm going to add that to our stove real quick. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk to this. And then we're going to add the star of the show, which is our Philadelphia cream cheese. Now this is our garden vegetable blend that we're going to add. We're going to add 2 ounces to our soup here, and we're going to simmer that together for about 20-30 minutes on low heat. While that's simmering, we're going to get our 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwiches ready. But when they try to take a bite of their tomato soup, they're going to think, okay, this is tomato soup, but there's something in it that we just can't quite figure out what it is. This is going to be it. The garden vegetable is going to make it so much creamier and delicious. It's going to give it so much more flavor than just your standard old tomato soup. So like I said, we're going to add 2 ounces of our garden vegetables, cream cheese. It smells so good. So good. Probably could get a cracker and just dip it out. That'd be pretty good too. Okay, we're just going to get this all incorporated really, really good. Like I said, I've got it on a medium heat right now, but once we get it all incorporated, I'm going to turn it down to just probably a low simmer. Let it simmer for 20 minutes, and all we're doing is just warming up everything. Everything is already cooked for us pretty much. We've got fresh tomatoes in here, fresh garlic. We've got the tomato soup concentrate, and then our good old wonderful Philadelphia cream cheese, the garden vegetable blend. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. While we're in our break, I'm going to get set up here next to make our 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwiches, where we're going to use our remaining garden vegetable spread to put on our sandwiches. So come right back. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. everyone. During the commercial break, I gave our little soup a tasting, and I believe I failed to tell you that I need to add a ½ teaspoon of salt to that. The salt's just going to pull out more flavor from the tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes that we put in here. So anyway, don't forget, add half a teaspoon of salt to your soup. So and it's still on simmer, still on very low. We're going to make our sandwiches now. So what I've done here during the commercial break is I have went ahead and removed the crust, the edges from the outside of our bread here. You can use a sourdough, you can use a white bread, whichever preference you like. There's no right or wrong here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our Philadelphia cream cheese, the garden vegetable. Remember, we used 2 ounces just a few minutes ago, and put in our soup. We're going to use 2 ounces as a spread on our sandwiches. That's one of the cheeses we're going to use. So the creamy garden vegetable. When this cheese melts on these sandwiches, it's just going to be wonderful. It's going to just soak into the bread. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lightly spread, just like you would if you were using a mayonnaise on your sandwich. Lightly coat that. A little bit more here. I'm going to lightly coat this sandwich here. When we get through grilling these sandwiches, I'm going to cut them into 4s. Because like I said, this is just an appetizer. And a 1/4 of this sandwich is going to go with a little shooter, a little shot glass of about 2 ounces to pair on top of our soup with our sandwiches. So it's going to have our grilled cheese and our soup. Okay, so next I've got here, I went to the store and bought pre-sliced sandwiches. And I've got a mild cheddar and I've got a Swiss. Here again, you can change your cheeses to whatever you like. This is where you can make different variety of sandwiches if you like. Like I said, I've done a mild cheddar and a Swiss. So I'm going to put 1 layer mild cheddar, 1 layer of a Swiss. Put that on top. Then I'm going to lightly butter the outside of my bread. I've got my heat on like a medium heat here, and actually it's pretty warm. I'm going to lightly butter, not the whole stick, so that our bread will toast up nice and pretty. And let's do the other side. Hear that sizzle? Yeah. There we go. Okay, we're going to let this finish toasting, then we're going to turn it over on the other side, and then when we come back, I'm going to cut them, like I said, into 4s. And I'm going to show you what the final presentation will look like for our creamy tomato shooters, with the 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. So come right back. We're going to take one more commercial break. Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, here's our final presentation. We have our creamy tomato soup shooters with our 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich bites that we made with the star of our show, which is our garden vegetable Philadelphia cream cheese. We used 2 ounces in our tomato shooters. We used the other 2 ounces to spread on the inside of our bread as you would normally do like a mayonnaise or a dressing or something. We spreaded our garden vegetable cream cheese. Then we put our 2 cheeses, which was Swiss cheese and a medium cheddar cheese. Here again, you could choose really whatever kind of cheese you want. And then we just grilled them and toasted them up. I cut them into 4s, put a little toothpick through them, and here you have it. All we need is to add a little more fresh parsley, and that's just to dress it up just a little bit, that's all. Just to give it a pretty presentation. So see, it just goes to show you, you can take something that's a comfort food, which is of course tomato soup and grilled cheese, which we've all had, especially when you're sick sometimes, and make it up to a fancy, elegant appetizer. So here you have it, our creamy tomato soup shooters with a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. Let's try it real quick before you go, because it's good and it smells good. By sticking it in there, I got a little bit of my tomato soup on my sandwich. I hope you try this. It's really good and creamy. My name is Susan West. Have a good day.